Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Disc Golf Examiner. Today, we're bringing you coverage from the 2021 Ironwood Open out at Moraine State Park. I'm your host, Bryan Keegan. Joining me today on the card, Brad Schick. Brad, how's it going?
Mr. Keegan, how are you, sir?
Doing great. Because also we have the TD for the event, Matt Rosier, on with us for commentary. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to see people throw out here and looking forward to it.
Yeah, this was a 2-day tournament, Matt. It was actually pretty big, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had 158 players out here, and so we had the AM divisions playing on Saturday, and then we had the advanced division and open players and other pro players playing out here on Sunday.
And here we have it, our MPO lead card, Brad Schick, making those putts like he's known to do.
I don't know about that sometimes.
Yeah, you're obviously, you have a history here of playing Ironwood and playing the Pittsburgh courses and really crushing them. We have Ryan Rhodes, who we've never seen before. He's actually from Austin, Texas. He's on a little tour right now. He has 5 career wins. And of course, we have Disc Golf Examiner's own Vinny Montanari, who is known for crushing it. Furthest thrower in Pittsburgh. He's got 4 open wins, and we're really excited to see anytime Vinny's on the card. And of course, Andy Martin, another guy who crushes from the Cleveland area, and he's a Prodigy sponsored pro. Just a great guy, just a great group to have. It's good to see a bunch of people that I've covered before and know can really crush out there at Moraine. But we'll go ahead and start things off on hole 1, if you guys would like to take it off.
Yeah, so hole 1 starting out with a 315-foot par 3. Just a nice little easy hyzer for the right-hand backhands, and hoping to start your round off with a nice birdie.
This is not a normal placement, and I kind of like it. It's something different, so it's really a good start. So we had a 3-way tie after the first round, and then I snuck on because being old finally has some benefits of a low PDGA, so I snuck on the lead card for this one. But I think we're all hoping for the 2 after this first hole for sure. So
yeah, there's actually 7 players within 1 stroke of the lead after this first round, so it's going to be a barn burner out here. I see Ryan kind of sawed it off a little short. Definitely one that you want to get. Seems like the way that I had the course set up out here is the first 5 holes are kind of birdie holes, and then you have to hang on for the ride as the course toughens up. And there's a great shot by you, Brad.
yeah, I'd say that's a fair assessment. You definitely want to get these first 4 or 5, and after that it is just a matter of hanging on because you had some of those other holes in some of the harder positions, so it was a nice mix. So Ryan, good layup for Ryan. Just take your 3 and get out.
Looks like Vinny's right on the edge of the circle, and just off the top, and a little roll into the back creek here. Probably has another 15-20 feet coming back.
Yeah, it actually rolled a little more. It was in that mucky stuff. So
Well, it looks like you guys are struggling here to start out. This had 35% of the field birdied this hole, so it's kind of surprising. Oh no. That definitely not how you want to start out there, but
yeah, I think Andy said the same thing when he went to putt. His foot sunk about 6 inches, and he just kind of lost it. So after watching all that, I was just trying to get in and get out. So
there you go. And you're picking up the only birdie on the card to start. So jumping right up there into the tie for the lead.
poor Vinny taking the bogey. That's not how you want to start for sure. But he's a pretty resilient guy. He doesn't seem to get too much. His nerves are not. He doesn't ever seem nervous. I don't know. He seems like somebody that could birdie 5 holes in a row or bogey 5 holes in a row, and he'd have the same look on his face, just smiling. So
yeah, definitely good bounce back player. So moving on to hole 2. This is 426-foot par 4. Goes uphill quite a bit, about halfway through the hole, and then we have this OB creek here that the bridge goes over and at the basket. So definitely want to make sure that your upshot to this basket doesn't come up short and fall in that OB creek. But otherwise, a pretty straightforward hole here.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this is really the tee shot is the biggest thing. And this is the first year I've ever tried a sidearm because I always seem to get on that left side. And then, of course, I did the exact same thing with the sidearm. But honestly, for me, this is like you could throw it 250 or you could throw it 375. But if you're in the middle, you're pretty much, I wouldn't say you're guaranteed to get a 3, but it's much easier. You start getting off the side over where Andy is, and it becomes much more challenging. And you bring all that OB into play for sure. So.
It looked like Ryan trying to follow your line here with a sidearm. And man, that's a great sidearm and skipping up. He may even have inside of 100 feet almost.
Yeah, he did it much better. That is the line I wanted, and he did exactly what you want.
Vinny kicking off right. Well, don't think that's OB over there. The creek does go all the way down the right side, but as you can see here, it is tight. This actually played as the easiest hole, and so you really want to get your birdie here. You definitely don't want to start out bogey par.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had to look for Vinny's for quite a while, so luckily we found it, and he threw quite an amazing shot. Honestly, I didn't think he had anything, and then he threw it up there and gave himself a look for birdie. Again, Andy, same thing, so much trouble, and he kind of filleted that fairway or that side fairway and put it right up there. So.
Great upshot by you, looking to start out birdie, just how you want to. Looks like Ryan's almost giving us a little run there.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Little uphill behind the basket. You can do that. Big putt coming here from Vinny. There we go.
Such a huge swing. I mean, we really did. We looked for quite a while, and then for him to come out birdie, he was almost on the verge of walking back and re-teeing. So, we were kind of joking that was a 2 or potentially 3-stroke swing. You never know what'll happen. So, what a huge momentum change. I mean, just mentally to go from, okay, now I'm back to even par to potentially I'm 2 or 3 over, right off the start. So, huge putt for Vinny.
Definitely, as Andy cleans up, and I'm expecting both Ryan and yourself to do the same. Looks like we have a nice star frame coming up here.
Yeah, I like that pin position. You can keep that there.
It's a little too easy. That's all right. Like I said, we'll get to the hard holes.
Yeah, give it time.
This one, hole 3, 288 feet, probably not one of the hardest ones here, but there is a little danger. A little short left of the pin there, you can see staked out is OB. So once again, you want to go long of the basket and maybe even give it a little ace run for hopefully come back for your 2.
This hole just stumps me. In practice, I seem to park it every time, and then I do something really stupid like that when it counts. So pretty much in no man's land over there. There's really no trouble that bad of trouble over there. It's just from pretty much a layup. Andy did pretty much exactly what you want.
Yeah, that's perfect. Just fading or turning over to the right a little bit, trying to avoid that out of bounds.
I think it's a better backhand shot.
Yeah, I'd agree. I was kind of surprised seeing you throw that forehand and bringing the trees into play over the OB.
Yeah. Ryan just burned it into the ground a little bit, and Vinny thought he was OB, and good to see that he went right over the crest of the hill and parked it. So exactly what you want. But from the tee, you can't see that. You really do think, oh, man, that could be out of bounds. So, again, nice little change of pace when you walk up there and see yourself parked. Because you either have a tester putt for par or you have a drop-in too. So.
Yes, I did not see myself parked when I came up here, so I know that feeling.
No.
Looks like the wind's kind of picking up here for Andy as he steps up this maybe 15, 20-foot putt. But he converts. Good putt by Andy.
He's got such a good putt.
Take another look at his form here and just straight up and down with the putter and right into the center.
Doesn't think about it too long either, which is what I really like. I like playing with Andy because he just is very intentional. He gets up there, he knows what he's going to do, and just a matter of executing.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you're not a slow player, so
Yeah, I think I'm extreme, but I think I think keeping it moving is a good thing for any new player that's watching. I think it's a important thing to not overthink these little putts. 15, 20 feet. You've made them 100 times, so get up there and make it.
yep, don't psych yourself out. So
What do we got here, Matt?
moving on to hole 4. This is 405 feet. Another par 4. Difficulty on this one is definitely the tee shot. You have a low ceiling coming off the tee pad, and then it goes uphill right away. And there are a lot of roots on this hillside, so if you plow it into the hill, it doesn't always get a skip up. Looks like Andy gets a good little wind lift, but it does hit a right tree. That little culvert there is casual OB, so you won't get penalized for going in there.
These roots have really been exposed over the last few years. I feel like every year I come back, they're a little more exposed and come into play a little bit more. Vinny absolutely just piped that thing into next week, and he's so far down the fairway. I don't think I've ever seen anyone up there.
Yeah, it looks like he way outdrove the catch cam even.
Yeah, that was his T-bird. He just gunned that right up the middle.
Oh, man.
Well, the crazy thing was he threw a T-bird the first round, he said, and he lost it right before the round on hole 2, exactly where we were looking for his one this round. So he was pretty fortunate to pull another one out and have known kind of what it did, and he didn't miss a beat. And I'm kind of in a crappy spot, and I just was trying to hit my first line and then hope for the best, and got through quite a bit of it.
It looks like you made it right onto circle's edge there.
Yep.
Yeah, at 405 feet, it isn't the longest of par 4s, but as we saw, you were kind of had to throw your upshot a little like a difficult upshot there by not making it to the top of the hill. So these guys have much easier upshots being up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vinny's probably 120 feet further than even Ryan. I mean, he's so far up the fairway. I think he has about 120 feet in, so doesn't really look like that much of an uphill shot on film, but when you're there, it really does come into play, and that was fantastic by Ryan. Yeah, look at this. Wow. This isn't fair.
Wonder if he's trying to give this a run. Oh, no. Oh, I thought he was going to hit that tree there.
That was not his best shot.
No. Great conversion by you again. So that's
that 3 of the, felt like stole one there for sure. So
yeah, three of the first 4 for yourself. So.
And if Vinny were to miss this putt, this is one I think could go the opposite way. Like, you just threw the most amazing drive, and you're giving yourself this tester putt. So maybe he's just practicing those long putts. I don't know. That's 2 big putts on 2 and on on 1 and on 4. So good stuff. I'm sorry, 2 and 4, not 1. 2 and 4, yeah.
Oh yeah, yep, 2.
Good putt from Andy too.
Looks like we have another star frame coming up here. 42% of the field did birdie this one. So once again, keeping up with the birdies, trying to make sure that you're not losing any strokes to anybody, as it looks like this card is still keeping it close between everyone. So moving on to hole 5 at 282 feet, another par 3. Kind of a tight window out here to the left pin, but once again, another one that you want to get. This one also, if you're kind of playing this hole for the first time, it's deceptively uphill. It just kind of slopes the whole way, so you want to make sure that you get it in the air.
It really is too. You couldn't have said it better. This is not a pin that I've played a bunch, and I feel like every time I throw it, I come up 25 or 30 short. I guess it is the uphill. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. Vinny literally almost aced it. He missed his line. We were just giving him such a hard time because he was just like, oh no, and then it went right through, kicked left or right and parked.
Sometimes the disc golf gods are on your side.
Absolutely.
While we have this moment, I did want to thank Bryan Bowman for doing T-Cam, and we have Zack, Moisey joining us for Catch Cam for the first time. So thanks to them.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Nice.
It's a long day, a lot of walking.
Yes, it is, but it's a great course, beautiful course. That's right. I always enjoy about it. It's no matter how long you're out there, you have a million good shots because it's just a beautiful park.
It's funny. We got quite a bit of rain, maybe a week before the tournament, 2 weeks before the tournament, and then the sun came out and just everything bloomed. The green grass. We had it mowed less than a week before the tournament, and it seems like it needs to be mowed again. So, yeah, beautiful park out here. Is looks like Ryan and Vinny take their birdies, and Brad and Andy take pars on this hole. And now we're on to one of the feature holes out here at Moraine. It says hole number 6, par 5 at 1,026 feet. So off the tee, definitely want to go down this left lane. Pretty much the only lane off the tee, and the fairway splits. Walking down the right side of the fairway here, which I think is a little more open than the left side. Basically, there's 3 spots where you don't want to be on this hole, and that's in the right rough, in the left rough, and in the middle. As long as you can stay in the right or left fairway and work your way down here.
This is another hole, like really distance helps, but doesn't matter if you throw it 400 feet off the tee and you're 10 feet in the woods, you're pitching out. So it's better to be 300 and give yourself a clear shot in. So this first tee shot is really something you have to keep really low. And oftentimes the wind seems to just pop it up. I don't know what it is, but just like Vinny's, starts off pretty low and the wind kind of pops it up. So, and the grass was much longer than normal. I've seen so many people roll this over the years, but I think this weekend it was kind of out of play just because the grass was quite long.
Yeah, I agree. It was tough. And Andy looked like he pulled that a little to the right, so he's going to be working pretty hard to try to save a par, and I think birdie's pretty much out of the question there.
This is a hole where I feel like 5 is a birdie sometimes. I don't, in the longest position where it is, this weekend it was, I don't know. We had I remember one putt for birdie, but it's just such a difficult shot.
Yeah, in round 2, this hole actually was the hardest hole according to scoring average. So
interesting.
Yeah, par is good out here, but at 1,026, you just kind of feel like, I can just throw it 350 3 times and be at the hole. But this looks like another good shot from Ryan, but he's going to be kind of in the middle here. Well, actually, he got a pretty big skip, so maybe he skipped over to the right fairway.
Yeah, typically you get a pretty good skip. I threw 2 shots pretty low, and both of them burned into the grass and didn't move. They just didn't budge. So I'm still way back, and so is Andy. That's Andy's 3rd. And that is absolutely crushed. I mean, what a great shot.
Yeah, that was a smash right up the right side. It doesn't get much better than that. You're trying to duplicate him, and
yep, just low again. It just doesn't skip today. I mean, I would rather be out of that middle and over to the left, and just didn't get it. So
for sure.
Vinny's
caught a lot of trees.
Yeah, he's just knocking down tree limbs. He throws so hard.
I believe this was Ryan's 3rd shot.
Yeah, he absolutely crushed this one too. It was a great shot. He's actually just outside circle. I think this was actually the round I was thinking about. It actually had a legit putt for the 4. So
yeah.
Andy took this little tiny skinny gap, and he was trying to tell me, like, it's just yours was a little better. I'm like, I'm further left. I don't want to be there. I want to be where you are. So I take the exact opposite line and throw a sidearm because I didn't want to take this little tiny gap. And so I think we're literally within like 20 feet of each other, but completely different lines, which is kind of the cool part about this course. There's just so many different ways to dissect it.
It looks like Vinny saw that one off a little bit. Here's Ryan's birdie putt, actually. Oh, I thought he had that.
Yeah. It looked really good from my angle.
Yeah, actually, on the day, there wasn't a single birdie. Vinny saws it off a little early.
So. Yeah, I was going to say, if you birdie this one, you're stealing 1, maybe 2 on the field. I just feel like that's a Such a good one.
Yep. Good cleanup for par for yourself.
Yeah, I didn't throw any great shots. I just threw lots of mediocres that averaged out to a par, which I was thrilled with. Just get out of there. Good par from Andy, too. Because he hit really early off the tee and managed to make it up. So
yeah, he wasn't even to the blue tee yet on his drive. So through a third of the course, it looks like everybody's still kind of holding close to each other.
This hole, Matt, what are we doing with this one in 3 years?
I don't know. The trees keep on getting taller and taller. So hole 7, 381 feet. The play's going to be to throw out of this tunnel, and then we need to get up and over these trees. But it also does have a low ceiling. So I think we can raise up the ceiling some and try to get over. But this is Moraine definitely seems to have a lot of low ceilings.
Yep. Yeah, this one is just getting harder and harder as the years go by. The wind was really blowing too, and it was really kind of tough to tell what it was going to do. I think on our card, it was just kind of slamming them down, and you really have no way of knowing because you have to throw it straight up in the air and then just kind of hope. So props to Bryan and crew for filming because I don't know what you're looking for. You're just hoping and praying that you see something come flying out of the woods there. So
it looks like you need this one to lift a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, it gets beaten down by the trees. It looked like Andy got the height right and is probably inside the circle. Vinny going with a power forehand. That looks a little inside.
Mm-hmm. Popped it up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Usually the wind is blowing right to left out of here, so it's helping your disc get pushed over to this left pin. So today it didn't seem like it.
I will say that every time you see a disc hit a tree, you see a bunch of pollen go everywhere. It was one of those days.
Yeah, there were people out there crying, and they claimed it wasn't because they're round; it was the pollen. So
maybe a combination of both.
Yeah.
And hey, I got to give a shout out whoever does the rock stacking. Oh, Andy, just a little bit high there. But whoever does the rock stacking there on hole set between 7 and 10 I love it.
I actually caught Jay Gary doing that at doubles the week before the tournament. So he's out there doing everything.
I think I hit that rock stack, so I don't know if I love it. So,
so it didn't look like any birdies there out from the lead card. But let's see what we can do out here on hole 8. It's a par 4, 573 feet. This is one of my favorite holes and to challenge the players out there on this drive. You head out pretty straight. You have to make a pretty sharp left here. If you go long, the rough is very rough and birdie's pretty much out of question. But once you go out to the left and your second shot, you're going to be throwing either a forehand or lefty backhand to get to the set basket. Really hard to access in this pin.
This is why Moraine's probably one of my top 3 favorites. Is there's several holes like this one, and I believe 11. Is this what hole is this? Is this 8? So we have 9, 10. I think 10's the other. There's several holes where the placement off the tee is so crucial, and if you don't get your tee shot in an exact spot or very close, you have no chance for birdie. Then you're just kind of playing for par. And this is, like you said, one of my favorites as well on the course because it's so demanding off the tee. And then it's so demanding off the, for the approach shot as well. So just such a great design. So much fun.
Yeah, I think you can kind of see that with Ryan coming in from Texas, maybe not getting a lot of practice. It looked like he went a little long on his drive. And so I'll be very surprised if he has any shot at birdie. As Vinny kind of saws off another one. He gets lucky. He doesn't go into the rough. So we'll see if he still just has to pitch up here to the corner.
Yeah. He had some amazing, good luck. I mean, he even said it. He was like, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, he was just getting it. I mean, that was a great shot there.
Oh, yeah.
Very well done from Andy. This is a pin I don't know that I've ever played, maybe once before in years past, but it was kind of deceiving. I just really couldn't tell how far to throw this, and I thought I was there, and then I walked up, and I was like, wow, this is way short. So, but fair. It's a fair hole. So Just think I just need more reps on it.
Yeah, if you're used to watching the PFDO out here, I try to do a little different pins for the Ironwood, some of the underutilized pins, and just kind of change up the course. You can see it looked like Ryan was trying some sort of roller to try to get to the basket.
Vinny, not his best work there either. He just kind of pulled that one over and completely missed his line. So
I'll go with a cut roller.
And normally we see this round of the tournament played at
Slippery Rock. Yeah. With COVID still being around, Slippery Rock was still unavailable for this tournament, which is why we had to switch it to the 2 days and only 2 rounds. But hopefully next year we can be back at Slippery Rock and kind of have Slippery Rock and Moraine be 2 different types of courses. Great run there from you, Brad. And it's a little low left.
Yeah, it's not committed enough.
Yeah, it looked like the stance was a little hard there with the rough.
Andy, to make up after the last hole, I knew he wasn't missing 2 in a row, and he's kind of getting on a little hot streak here. We're all trying to save pars now. Ryan, after being in the woods, throwing 2 cut rollers, now he's got this for his par. So
yeah, Andy was one of 3 threes for this round, so definitely making up strokes on the field there.
Mm-hmm. Beauty.
Wow, that is a great par save. He was throwing all the trick shots there, it seemed like.
I was giving him a hard time as I told him his cut roller did hit this huge root and slowed it down, and I was like, whoa, that was such a good hit. And he was like, it was going to be parked either way. I said, okay, if you say so. But he was so cool and collected. It was funny. He just was like, it was parked. So Vinny taking the bogey, dropping 1.
Yep.
Andy's pulling ahead.
Yep. Moving on to hole number 9, par 3, 387 feet, and lots of trees here. You see a lot of rollers off the tee pad, trying to get over to the right, backhand rollers. It's a pretty long forehand, maybe a turnover backhand. This is definitely a very tough par 3.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know, just not a ton of opportunities to it because there's so much to hit. And it's pretty far back there. So I think most players are probably just content with taking your 3 and moving on. And if somehow you get a 2 and you get one way out there, it's like super bonus. So
you say that, but Vinny tooted on the first round.
Wow. He's not human.
No,
yeah, he has that power lefty backhand, so he doesn't have to throw the forehand. So I think that'll really help him get the distance. Looks like Ben Kreger also tooted the first round.
Nice. Yeah, Vinny kind of missed his line and almost aced it. It was way down the hill off the back. I've never seen anyone that far. And then he threw his putt and hit it off a tree limb and knocked it straight in. And he was like, it was just too much. I was like, can't watch anymore, Vinny. Can't watch.
Oh man.
It was just one of those days, man. He was just getting it. So, and I am so far back. I'm just trying to figure out how to get the biggest window. And I was absolutely thrilled with getting through the first couple. And then I didn't realize it was even that close, but that felt like a win. So.
Andy with an unlucky kick on his roller and tried to ring that one up.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I was wondering how he got so far down there, but that's a pretty unfortunate roll.
Yeah. Ryan playing really smart out here, just laying up again. This round, we actually had no birdies on this hole, so definitely playing tough out there.
It was pretty windy, too.
Yeah. Being situated right next to the lake, we do get a lot of wind off the lake, so that was unfortunate. He just didn't look comfortable with that putt. I don't know. It didn't look like the last putt he had.
I think he's probably trying to figure out how he got down there too, because it wasn't coming in that hot. But he probably, it's one of those you get down there and it's kind of a surprise to yourself, like, wow. Yeah. He was on circle's edge, I believe.
And that will be the end of our front nine coverage. I want to say it was a great round to cover so far. Thank you, Brad, for joining us, and Matt. It's been great having you as commentary.
Absolutely. And as I said at the beginning, there were 7 players all within 1 stroke, and there's still a lot of people here. On the lead card, you got Andy and Ryan at 8 under and Brad at 7, and a couple people on second card making a chase for the win as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's, I wish I had the stats on that at the moment. But yeah, definitely everybody is it's kind of going back and forth between chase card and lead card here right now. And we're going to see the back 9 covers. We'll see how it changes. And it's going to be very interesting. I'm just got to tell you. So that's going to do it for our coverage of the front 9. Join us for the back 9. Click the link below. And until then, keep banging those chains.